The silence in the house was the first thing he noticed. Then came the realization that the keys in his hand no longer opened the doors to the life he thought he owned. Everything he had spent a decade building had vanished in less than a year. It wasn't a slow decline, it was a sudden, violent stop. He had done everything society told him would lead to security. The high-limit credit cards, the impressive title, the envy of his peers, all of it was a mirage. Now, the only thing left was the weight of a final notice and the bitter taste of a wasted decade. He was won something from broke, and that something had finally happened. He looked at his bank account and saw the ghost of $1 million. The math didn't make sense. He was rich once, or so he thought. Most people live their lives under a set of assumptions that feel like solid ground. They believe that a good salary is the same thing as wealth. They see a luxury car in a driveway and assume the person inside is financially free. They think that if they can afford the monthly payment, they can afford the lifestyle. It's a reasonable belief. It's what everyone else is doing. Society reinforces it, the bank rewards it, the neighbors envy it. This is the belief system of the sidewalk. It's a roadmap where every dollar earned is a dollar already spent. On the sidewalk, your wealth is measured by the stuff you own, not the time you have. It feels secure because the money is coming in today. The sidewalker doesn't see the fragility of the pipe. They rely on the wealth equals income plus debt equation. If they want more wealth, they simply find a way to get more debt to buy more things. They believe that the big event, the promotion, the bonus, the lottery win, will eventually fix everything. They view wealth as a destination you arrive at, rather than a journey you manage. This mindset creates a state of lifestyle servitude. Even if the income is 6 figures, the vulnerability remains exactly the same. They are living a financial redline, pushing the engine to the limit with no oil in the tank. It's a comfortable trap until the first crack appears. In the millionaire fastlane, this illusion is dismantled piece by piece. The first crack often looks like a massive win. For one young designer, earning $1,000 in 3 days felt like winning the Powerball. He was ecstatic. He calculated that at this rate, he'd be a millionaire in no time. But he failed to see the anchor tied to his ankle, his own time. The moment he stopped designing, the money stopped flowing. This wasn't wealth, it was just a high-octane version of trading life for paper. The win was an event, a snapshot in time that provided no lasting structure. He believed the fast money was the destination, but the vehicle was already breaking down. If he got sick, the wealth vanished. If he wanted a break, the wealth vanished. He was still on the sidewalk, just walking faster than the others. The true test of wealth isn't how much you can make when you work, it's how much you have when you don't. He hadn't built a process, he had only found a better-paying job for himself. And jobs, no matter how lucrative, are the ultimate wealth killers, because they consume the only asset you can't buy back. The crack widened when he finally hit it big, by selling his company for $1.2 million. He felt instantly rich. He bought the Corvette, he felt untouchable. But an event without a process is like a bucket with no bottom. A year later, taxes, bad investments, and worthless stock options had eaten his fortune alive. He was left with less than a quarter of what he started with. The event of the sale was a success, but his financial process was a failure. He realized that hitting the jackpot doesn't make you a professional gambler. It just makes you a lucky amateur. This same failure of process happens even at the highest levels of education and capital. When a group of Harvard MBAs bought the designer's company with $12 million in backing, they seemed destined for greatness. But they focused on the events of business, fancy branded water bottles and expensive marketing trinkets. They ignored the process of listening to customers and making rapid decisions. They moved by committee, slowing down until the engine of the business seized up. The profitable website they bought died a slow death, despite the millions in the bank. Credentials and capital are just ingredients, they are not the recipe. Without the process of execution, the ingredients just rot on the shelf. Think of it like a college spring break road trip to the beaches of Florida. Everyone is focused on the destination, the sun, the sand, the party. But they neglect the road trip components, the oil, the tires, the engine, the map. Halfway there, in the middle of a desolate highway, the car breaks down. The destination didn't matter because the process was ignored. Wealth is the same. People want the beach, but they hate the car maintenance. They collect fragmented, get rich, tips like they're collecting single ingredients for a meal. They have the sugar and the flour, but they don't have the oven, the eggs, or the temperature settings. They try to bake cookies with only the parts that look fun. The result is always a mess. This is why even successful rappers and actors often end up in bankruptcy. They have a high-income event, but their underlying roadmap is the sidewalk. They use debt to supplement their already massive income, buying things that lose value the moment they're driven off the lot. They are in lifestyle servitude, working harder and harder just to keep the repo man away. They blame the economy, their manager, or bad luck for their downfall. But the real culprit is the belief that more money solves a lack of process. It doesn't, it just scales the disaster. Society has toxified the definition of wealth, making us think it's about the stuff. We see the $50 million athlete and think, wealth. We don't see the torn ligaments and decades of practice. We see the $30 million internet company sale and think, luck. We don't see the years of coding in a garage on credit cards. The event is the only thing society celebrates, so the event is the only thing we chase. But true, resilient wealth is built on a different trinity: family, fitness, and freedom. Family is the strength of your relationships. Fitness is your health and your energy. And freedom is the absolute choice of how you spend your time. The sidewalker sacrifices all three for the mirage of looking wealthy. They trade their health for a high-stress income. They trade their family time for the next big deal. And they trade their freedom for a mountain of monthly payments. The shared mechanism behind all these failures is the divorce of event from process. When you focus on the event, you are at the mercy of luck and timing. When you focus on the process, you are the one in the driver's seat. The process is the years of risk, the 1,000 failed experiments, and the discipline to live below your means while building an asset. It's the understanding that wealth is an equation you solve, not a gift you receive. The path to true freedom is almost entirely obscured by the flashy distractions of the present. If you don't change your roadmap, you will keep arriving at the same dead end, no matter how much you earn. The question isn't how much you make today. The question is, are you building a process that can survive without you? Until you stop chasing the event, you will always be one mistake away from the sidewalk. True wealth isn't a payout. It's a system of belief that turns time into freedom. It's time to stop looking at the destination and start looking at the vehicle. Because if the process is broken, the beach doesn't exist. Change your roadmap or stay exactly where you are.